What's going on, guys? I'm blessed to be bringing on right now one of the top players in his class, and also UCF commit, and now back-to-back 4A state champion, Taylor Hendricks. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. So just before we really get this interview underway, is there anything that you want to plug or anybody you want to shout out?
Now I'm ready to get started.
All right, sounds good. So, I guess with these interviews, for those of you, if any of you guys have tuned into some of my previous ones with a lot of these South Florida guys, basically what we've been doing is we've been doing like as a season breakdown almost. Then we talk about the state championship and all that stuff. So to start this off, I guess you guys were another team, kind of like Columbus, where I feel like your preseason games were also kind of big. Like you played versus Mikey Williams in the preseason. You also played against Sierra Canyon, even though Bronny and Mari Bailey and Ramel Lloyd, a lot of their guys were sitting. You still played against them in the preseason. You guys had a big preseason, which I'm sure wasn't like it last year. So what was the preseason like? Because some of these preseason games were like kind of big.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even get to play in any of the
Oh, that's right.
preseason games because I
That's right. You
was,
never even played. I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, I was pretty much hurt. But like, watching from the side, like, I could tell we had like a lot of potential because Brendan Lorian, like, it was his first time like really playing with us, and like, like seeing him how he plays with them, like, and like, seeing how I could fit with him on the court, like, it was just, I don't know, it was just nice to see.
Mhm. What was that like for you? Kind of sitting from the sidelines because you guys that Sierra Canyon game. Thinking about it now, I think you guys should have definitely have won, but you ended up getting blown out in the end. Were there sometimes even some of the fall league games too, like the ones at Somerset, North Lauderdale, like you guys lost some games that you shouldn't have lost. I remember Southridge beat you guys. Again, you were sitting out. Were you at all like a little frustrated? Like you're like, damn, like because some people were thinking like maybe Calvary Christian's not as good this year because you're losing these teams, even though it's the preseason, or are you just more like in your head, like, I'm not back yet, like the whole team's not together yet, like we're gonna, be perfectly fine.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like it was a little worrisome, like seeing like us losing to teams we should beat. But like at the same time, we didn't have our full team. So, I wasn't really too worried, but like it was like, a little bit of worriness.
Yeah, for sure. And then your season starts off, um, I guess with a few games, a few local games in South Florida. You play Highland Christian, smoke them by 51. You play American Heritage Delray. You beat them by I think it's 43. Then you play Gulliver. I was at that game. You beat them by like over. Actually, no, I think you beat them by 39. Um, then you play Matter Lakes, beat them by 20. All easy in South Florida, and then you travel to City of Palms. And this is what made this team this year different from the team last year. You guys are now national schedule. You start off the season ranked. Um, I guess how much were you guys when you were playing those games in South Florida? Was it more like treating it like almost practice for City Palms getting ready in the national stage, or what was the mentality? I guess in those beginning games because I feel like we go to City Palms. That was almost like when the real season started.
We definitely treat those games like practice, but at the same time, we took them very seriously because, last year we lost to Westminster Christian, which was
Mm-hmm.
against a local Florida team, and that pretty much ruined our chances at Geico's. And so, we knew we couldn't slip up against local teams, so we took every local game serious.
Yeah, and you guys take care of business versus Greensboro Day School. Um, I guess at the time I was not surprised that you guys like beat them, by 19. But then I was thinking about it. Actually, I like that team a lot. I think they're really well coached and they got a lot of good
Yeah.
players. Were you guys, I guess, like working like was that like game you guys kind of had like you guys are like extra prepared for? Like you there's certain games where it's like you kind of scout the team a little more and everything like that. Is that a game you guys were super locked in for? I guess for that 6 day stretch when you didn't have games before City of Palms, or was it more just think your team was just, I guess a little better?
I think it was a little bit of both. We did scout them pretty well, and I'm pretty sure that was like our first like national game,
Yep.
and like it was like kind of like a gauge to see how good we really are. Like winning by 19 against a team like that because they're really good, and like winning by that much and like definitely like increased our confidence also.
Yeah. Uh, and then the next game, which honestly like really worried me at the end of it with the result, But that Milton game, I mean, that game was like huge. I think they're also one of the reasons why I think Milton and Westminster Christian. I mean, those were the reasons why you guys, didn't make it to Geico Nationals last year. So, but that Milton game, you ended up losing by 5. It was really close. I guess also too. I mean, I was worried a little bit this year. Like when I started to see Milton wasn't doing as good, I'm like, crap, it's not going to make him look good if Milton keeps losing too. So that game like really kind of concerned me. Uh, I guess I am curious of like what was the mentality for that game, because there's no way you guys weren't fired up to play them, because they were one of the few losses you guys had last season.
Yeah, we definitely were fired up because, like you said, we lost to them last season, so we were just trying to get revenge, and we ended up losing. So like, I don't know, that like kind of like messed us up a little bit. Like, losing them back to back years. I don't know, like because like last year we would say like, oh, if we had a rematch, we would beat them. We
Mhm.
had the rematch and we didn't handle business. So I don't know, it was just tough.
Yeah, I mean, I do think I love watching Bruce, and I think Cam Carlisle is like his name, but yeah, I definitely like was kind of a bummer. Like I was actually a little bit like annoyed after them, like damn, like I was like, I mean, if you guys didn't win the other things after the talk about, I was like that big like the moment that they just blew to go to Geico National. I was concerned for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah. You said how like in the beginning for some of those preseason games, you said you were like a little bit worried in a way. I mean, after the Milton game, were those same feelings coming back, or do you know like you guys are gonna be okay after that?
Not really so much because Milton is a good team, and I don't know. I just wasn't really worried, like, because I knew how good of a team we were. We just fumbled the bag on that game. Um, you know.
Yeah. And then you beat Orlando Christian Prep in overtime, which I think they're a team that actually kind of matches up against you guys. I feel like pretty well. They have some solid guards. I mean, definitely nowhere near as good as Marvell and Carl, but still, they got guys like a Hoop, and they got the guy I think Alan Van Leuven or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I guess that's a pretty big. I guess you kind of match up with, and Jaden Hastings. Like they had guys that I think could have battle versus you guys pretty well, and you take them to overtime. And that game was really right after the Milton game the following day. So just how quickly were you guys able to just get over Milton?
We were able to get over like pretty fast because even after the loss, like the tournament's not over. We still had to we still have to win games because even with the loss, like we felt like we still had a chance at like getting to Geico's. So like not all of our hopes are like completely gone. So we knew it was going to be a good game of OCP. OCP is also well coached. They've been undefeated. They're like one of the best teams in Florida. So we knew it was going to be a good game, and it was.
Yeah, and then after that, you play North Little Rock, which I'm kind of like respectfully North Little Rock. I think they were a little bit like overrated in the rankings. I think I was a little surprised by how high they were ranked, but you guys did handle business versus them. You beat them by 9. I guess how or maybe what was the team's mentality kind of after winning that game? Because that was a big game in terms of rankings wise, and after getting that win, like I feel like that kind of shot you guys up a lot.
Yeah, it did because they beat a team that beat Montverde. It was either Richardson or Duncanville. I can't remember which one, but they beat
Hmm.
them. That's why they were ranked so high. So, and I believe they were ranked above us. So, coming to that game, like we knew we had to win that game to like improve our resume for Geico's, and we ended up winning. That was also every game in the city of Palms was a good game, man. Like there's so many great teams,
Hmm.
and yeah, we ended up handling business that game.
But that was not your first City of Palms, though, right?
No, I had one in ninth grade. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess coming back, it's like was it kind of cool for you? We're ninth grade year, you're with Vern and Scotty, everything like that. You're kind of, in their shadow. Like when people at university school, they're thinking, okay, Vernon Carey, Scotty Barnes, no one's gonna mention Taylor Hendricks until your sophomore year, I guess. But then like coming back and now it's like this Calvary Christian team's almost like your team. Like you're kind of one of the main guys. How cool is that for you? Where last time you were there, you were more of like a role player kind of thing. Now you come back and it's like, this is your team.
I mean, it's crazy. Like going back to the gym, like I got like a lot of deja vu and like just like like just feeling like one of the main guys on the team, like having a big role on a team that's going to City of Palms is just like a whole different experience. Because like my freshman year, like I was the backseat to Vernon, Scotty, and another big man that was on the team, so I didn't really get too much playing time. So like to be a dominant force on a top team in the City of Palms is just a blessing, and it's crazy.
Hmm. And now I wasn't going to talk about this game, but only because Westminster Christian, I kind of want to. I mean, obviously, like you guys, I didn't think it was going to be a close game at all, which it wasn't. Not really surprised you guys blew them out by that much. But were you at all like? There was a team at all like I guess like it's a new team there, but were you guys at all like a little like you had a chip on your shoulder for that game? It's like yeah, this one like we kind of want to win like a little more than others just because they beat you guys last year, or was it just because like it was just a different team? You guys just treated it like any other game.
I mean, it was like a little bit more of a chip on our shoulder playing them again because like they knocked us out, and it was going to mean a little bit more compared to the other local teams by beating them.
Yeah. And then again, like this was kind of interesting. I feel like is the other interviews. Like I'm talking to these players, all great players. I mean, if you win a state championship, you're obviously pretty good, but it's just more cooler because you guys are on a national scale. Like we're not really talking about the local teams. We're talking more about the national teams. And the next one we got to bring up is that game versus Camden, which I think was on ESPN or ESPN Plus, whatever. It was at the Hall of Fame thing. I guess first off, before the game, how cool is it to be in Springfield, Massachusetts, go to the Hall of Fame as be in that historic area?
It was really cool because like I never like I've heard about the museum and stuff like that, but like I've never gone there. And just like seeing like all the different like the histories of basketball, women's basketball, men's basketball, like it was actually like really cool. Like the whole museum was cool and like the whole experience and everything.
What was the coolest thing you saw in the Hall of Fame?
Um, I'll say the coolest thing would be like the multiple basketball hoops that they had. Like they had one from like the first basketball hoop and like the second like basketball hoop ever made. Like I don't know, it was just cool.
Yeah. Do you think you'll end up being in the Hall of Fame again someday in the future?
I hope so. I really hope so.
I don't know. I want to kind of throw that question out there, but anyways, uh, I guess you play versus Camden. They got DJ Wagner, who I heard is great. Never seen him play, so I don't know. Like maybe he's overrated, maybe he's not. I don't know. I can't tell you. Never seen him play in person. I don't judge based off YouTube, so
Hmm.
never seen him play in person. But I heard great things about him. His team definitely has like other good players as well. He's definitely like the alpha dog on that team. And for some reason, again, I wasn't surprised you guys beat them the way they did. I think you guys are just a little more complete. You guys like have better player. Like even if he's the best player on the floor, I think you guys then have the next like 5, 6, 7, 8 best players on the team. So it doesn't really matter. You guys blow them out. Would you say that game was like a statement game for you guys? Because I think that's when I feel like the national media started to give you guys even more respect after blowing them out.
Yeah, that definitely was a statement game. Like, going into it, like we felt like we were the better team and we could win by a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
we didn't know we would like win by 20. Like we had it up to like 30, like the last couple minutes of the game, but then they were scoring and stuff. But like going into it, we thought we were the better team, and we showed like they were number one with non-prep schools, and like
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to get to that number one spot. So us beating them by 20 was definitely a statement game. Then everybody started like looking at us like for real.
Yeah. And then the next game was that the one like in Maryland or I guess in Washington D.C.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I
Minnesota
don't
Prep
know
we
about
played.
MPA. I think I heard of that school, but I mean being able to travel to I guess go from you're in Massachusetts and you go to Washington D.C. almost like a nowhere near like the NBA, but still you guys are getting a little bit of NBA treatment, kind of traveling from state to state. How cool is that? And I also know seeing snow was cool for you too. So a lot of stuff with the snow.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun, like traveling, going out of town, and playing in these different gyms. It was a lot of fun, definitely.
Mhm. What was more fun, playing in the different gym, or you messing around with the snow?
It was probably a tie. I'm not gonna lie, it's a tie.
Yeah, because it seemed like that was, I don't even think that was like that wasn't even like real snow though. I don't think, at least in like it was like the more like the ice snow kind of thing. Like, it
Yeah.
wasn't even like good. Like I used to be that. I think I've seen it snow like once, and it was like right before I was actually leaving. I was in New York, and it was like right before I left, and it finally snowed. But like I got so excited seeing the ice snow, and I picked it up. And I'm like, wait, you can't make a snowball with this, and like was kind of a bummer. But I guess you guys made the most of it though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so then coming back to Florida again, handle business with Boca Raton, don't even really need to talk about it. But then this was, I guess, the really big thing was playing the Montverde Invitational. Um, I love Dr. Phillips. I think they're one of my more favorite teams that I've seen play this season. I think they actually got like a three-headed monster. I feel like with Ernest and Riley and Denzel. I think they're all great. You guys beat them by 3. Not surprised you guys won. I think you guys can have a little more of a loaded team, but I do love that team, Dr. Phillips. And again, they are one of my favorite teams, I think, from the year. That game for you guys, because I know that Montverde is what you really wanted to do, and we're going to talk about that. But what was the mentality for the Dr. Phillips game? Was it like beat them so we could play Montverde? Was it, we're just going to handle one game at a time? Which one was it?
It was mainly to beat them to play Montverde, but we knew that, that game wasn't going to be any type of cakewalk. Like, we knew that they were a great team. In City of Palms, I believe they beat North Little Rock too. And, like, they just got, like you said, like the three-headed monster and, like, the other guys around them. Like, overall, they're a great team. And they're, like, always good every year. And, like, going into that game, we knew it was going to be tough. We knew we had to handle it.
Yeah, I'm assuming you like had to guard Ernest. I'm assuming, right?
No, I don't think, nah, Greg had to guard Ernest.
Okay. So
Yeah.
who are you up against?
I don't really remember. But, like, I was playing, like, mostly help defense.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
so
makes
I wasn't on like a someone who's like a good shooter. I was like on someone who's like a driver mostly.
yeah. So I mean, kind of shows, I guess, a little bit of versatility in your game, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
So then now you play the Montverde game. I mean, I felt bad for you guys after losing that one in overtime. I mean, all due respect to Montverde, though, they are by far one of my favorite programs in the whole country. Just the way like the students are, I guess their players are all super nice guy. I think it's like an MBA type RAM program. So they are a great program for sure. But that was like I mean that game I guess could have really clinched you guys for sure to go to Geico Nationals, like beating Montverde. Obviously a big deal. I just kind of was able to see just through social media how bad you guys wanted to win. So I guess during the game was that maybe I guess the most amped up you guys probably ever been in a while.
yeah, definitely. Like the crowd was going, the gym was loud, and like we were leading for like most of the game by like 10, and then like it was getting like later in the game, like fourth quarter, they started coming back a little bit, a little by little, and they ended up getting like really close, and I ended up going to overtime. And yeah, definitely we were like so hyped to play that game because you know last year we first time we played Montverde last year we lost by 20, and then the second time we lost by 40, and then this year coming into this year we felt like we could really beat Montverde, and we had our chance to there, but you know buzzer beater shot. I wish it went to double overtime, and I feel like we would have won in double overtime, but we'll never know.
Yeah, but I mean Montverde last year definitely more loaded, but this year like they're always going to reload. They're always going to get more transfers. They get Sky Clark. They got Kwame Evans, I think is his name. Trying to think who else they got. I don't know if the guy Draven something, the guy that goes to Purdue. I don't know if he was on the team yet, but like they're always going to get guys. So I guess it's not like saying they're that much worse than the teams they had before. Why do you think you guys really stood a chance versus a national powerhouse like Montverde? Because you guys are practically like babies in the national hoop scene. So why do you think you guys have such a good chance to beat them?
Even though we're not as known as Montverde, like we have a lot of great players like that can compete with those players on Montverde. Like we're pretty much equal to those powerhouses, players wise and talent wise. So you know,
Mhm. Yeah, and I guess after losing that game, I mean, what was the team kind of thinking about that? Like, were you guys completely like heartbroken in a way? Was it more of like, we're gonna be okay, a little positive? What was the team thinking after the loss?
Most of the players were heartbroken, like including myself, and like the coaches were like thinking like, we'll be all right. And yeah, that was it pretty much. Like I just wish we had like another chance to play them. Like that was our only chance. Like man, I still think about it to this day. But yeah, like the coaches were like, we're gonna be all right because like nobody was really like competing with Montverde like that aside from the teams in the NIBC. And like for us to like come in there and like almost beat them on their floor, which is very hard to do. You know, that was a good sign.
Hmm. And I think what's kind of cool, what I just realized, like this is, I guess, my I think fourth and final interview of like my South Florida State Championship series that I'm trying to do. I think every team, none of them went undefeated. Like every single team kind of had that one close loss or that one loss that just kind of slapped them in the face, I feel like. And I think that was definitely the loss for you guys. I'm sure that definitely helped you guys, I guess, to get to where you are today. So I kind of asked this question every player, like, if you could, reverse that loss, let's say you guys ended up beating them. Let's say you ended up beating same score, so by 3 in overtime, 79-66. Would you rather have had that happen or have what just happened, I guess, like in real life?
Um, I'll probably say what has happened in real life because I feel like everything happens for a reason. There's a reason we didn't beat them. Like maybe like if we would have beat them, my head would have got swollen and we would have lost to a local team.
Mhm.
So you know, um, at the end of the day, I'm just glad what happened because God made that happen for a reason. So
Yep. And then a game I want to touch on, which is the game I was at. Now we're back in South Florida, swing of things. Since your next national game will be, I guess, at the Battle of the State Champions, whatever they're calling it. But the Saint John Paul II game, that one I think kind of sparked a little bit of rumors going around. Like, is Calvary Christian really like that? Because even though you guys beat him by I think 18, like that was kind of close. Like I know it was a senior night. I know senior night is usually a night just have a little bit of fun. But I mean, so it was definitely a close game for a lot of it. Were you guys like a little bit overconfident because they could have surprised you?
yeah, man, to be honest, I don't know what it was. Like I don't know why it was so close. They just came out to play. Like
Mhm.
um, that's pretty much it. Like like you said, we ended up beating them by 18. Um, I can't really tell you like why it was so close the whole time.
Yeah. Do you think it was at all a little bit like senior night, kind of emotional in the moment kind of thing? Like you were more just like, wow, it's my senior night instead of like I gotta lock in on a game.
I mean, me, I take every game like the same, but to be honest, I don't know. I'm guessing maybe it's because it was senior night we like chilled out a little bit, but other than that, I can't really give a reason why.
Yeah. I would say though, I feel like this team, like everyone kind of knew, like you guys haven't lost in South Florida this year. I feel like everyone kind of knows you guys probably aren't going to lose. So would you say there's at all a little bit of, I guess, confidence that no matter who you're playing, if they're in South Florida and they're a South Florida team, you guys are going to beat them like for every game for you guys? Like, did you guys kind of always know it probably wouldn't be too challenging here in South Florida?
No, because there's a lot of great South Florida teams, and like last year, like you never know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, got to take every game like serious.
Yeah. And we're only going to talk about this game just because I didn't realize like how much points you guys didn't let the team score. You beat Pompano Beach 69-11. You only let them score 11 points in 4 quarters. I mean, do you feel it all bad thinking like that's like I feel kind of bad saying it out loud. You feel like that? I don't know. That's not cool. Like 11 points in 4 quarters. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know. Like we're a pretty good defensive team, and I guess they couldn't score on us, and That's it, man. They just couldn't score on us.
Yeah. But then the next game though, now this one, this was probably the game of the year in South. Well, it has to be the game of the year in South Florida. The 51-49 win versus North Broward Prep. The one team that I think, I think Riviera Prep probably could have battled with you guys if they still had Osmar and Landon. They never left. But I think the only team that I thought had a chance versus you guys was North Broward Prep. And I wouldn't say I was wrong. They almost stole one from you at their place. How cool is that atmosphere? Because that gym is very nice.
Man, I would say that that gym was. I mean, it's not as big as Mount Virgin, but like the like the atmosphere was just probably like
Mm-hmm.
equal. Like with the whole gym being against your team, and then like North Broad Prep was red hot. Like they only lost one game, but they were like pretty much still like on a winning streak beside that one game. So and they were like very hyped to play us. They felt like they could really beat us, and they played a great game. We just came out and ended up winning it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think though? Because again, I mean, well, you only beat them by I guess 12 the next time you played them, in the regional semifinal. But still, like you guys really, I think, like I would tell people like say that Calvary Christian, like they have control over how many points like we beat each team by. Like I feel like you could beat every team by like 20 if you went to South Florida. Like I think it's honestly up to the team. So would you say that was like a bad game for the teams? You guys kind of kept so close with them. And if it was, is what was going wrong for you guys then in that game?
In that first game, right?
Oh yeah, the first one.
We just weren't hitting shots, and maybe it was the crowd like getting to us. Like we took a lot of bad shots, and we weren't like really playing our game and like moving the ball how we usually do, and like that they really got us out of our game. That's what made it so close.
Mhm. Yeah, but in the end, again, you guys obviously pulled it off. But then you face them again. Now it's at your place. I guess how much did the mentality shift heading into round two versus North Broward Prep compared to the first time you played them?
I mean, for first time, like we knew that they thought they could beat us, and like for them to only lose by two the first time, we knew that the second time they were going to come like even harder. So we had to come even harder and play even better than we did last time. And we ended up winning by 12. I felt like we could have won by more, but they're still a great team, and you know it wasn't going to be like a crazy blowout because they are a great team with great players.
Yeah. And then you only end up beating Matter Lakes. This kind of surprised me. You only end up beating them by 10. What was going on in that game? Because I think Matter Lakes, the reason why I think they're a great team, but I think they're a little bit on the smaller side, I would say, compared to you guys. How are they able to keep it kind of close?
They just came out to play. Like we played them in the regular season and we beat them by
Yeah.
20.
Hmm.
And like I guess we like came out thinking like it's gonna be like pretty much the same thing again. But teams in the playoffs like they just get 20 times better, and they played great, and like the refs were calling everything on both sides, but the refs were calling everything, and they definitely put up a fight with us.
For sure. And then now the state semifinal game versus Lake Highland Prep. I think, well, I guess a lot of people thought that game was like going to be a huge, like a tough one, which it was. You ended up winning that game by 2. How challenging was that game for you guys?
That was a super challenging game. That game was similar to the one in our state finals last year against Bishop McGoughlin
Mhm.
with one guard that scores like a majority of the points, and with Bryce Sensabaugh, and Lake Highland, like it was like the same thing. And you know like I mean I thought we were gonna like coming in, like I thought we were gonna win by double digits, but you know they just played great, and like we had a hard time with them most of the game.
Definitely. But then after winning that, you do completely take care of business versus Andrew Jackson. Nothing to really. Actually, yeah. Would you say the Lake Highland Prep game was that like? I feel you guys definitely had a little bit of wake up calls during the season, like the Montverde loss. Obviously, we talked about that, how that kind of helped you guys. The Milton loss that as well. Without Lake Highland Prep game that one being so close, does that kind of give the team a message like, we just got to make sure we really, really take care of business and just I have to make sure the game's not that close in the championship.
Yeah, definitely. Because around that time, like we got the call that we're gonna be in the state championship invitational, and like all we had to do was just win the state championship. So it was just one more game left. Like we knew we had to handle business and not like slip up at all.
For sure. So you said that you guys found out before the state championship game that you guys were going to be in the like the battle of the state champions thing.
Yeah.
So because I saw the video, I thought it was at like Calvin Christian when he made that announcement. So was that then I guess kind of like was that what's it called? Not rehearsed, but like I guess that like kind of acted, I guess. Like you guys already knew heading to the state championship game. So it was like kind
Oh
of
no, it wasn't like right before the state championship game. It was like before we like left for Lakeland.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. That's definitely interesting. I guess we should talk about that. I mean finding that out before you go to Lakeland, did that I guess were you guys because you want to take care of business in the state championship game. But then also finding that out, like I'm sure maybe kind of lifted like a weight off your shoulder, like okay, we kind of got to where we want to be right now. Like we kind of got over one hump or one step, over the hill or whatever by I guess qualifying for the nationals event. So I mean, yeah, like what were you guys really thinking about that? Like, did that make it a little more relaxed coming to states, or was it more, like not really because you guys still want to win states too?
I would say not really because we really wanted to win states, but in that first game we didn't really play like we had to win it, I guess.
Mhm. So do you think like finding that out that might have been the reason why?
Nah, I don't think I wouldn't say like that affected the way we played. I wouldn't say.
Okay. But then anyway, so B. Andrew Jackson, 74-58. You win. I think your third. That's your third state championship, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you win your third state championship. When the buzzer hits 0.0, you guys win. What was the first thing you thought of?
Geico's. I mean, the national championship, definitely.
Yeah, I mean that's like an interesting mentality to have. And I think that has to be so different. I feel like from last year, because I mean when last year when it hit 0.0, I do not think the first thing you thought of was Geico. I'm not, unless it was, but I'm assuming the first thing you thought of was not Geico Nationals. You're probably like, yeah, like we did it, whatever. So just what was I mean like I don't know like how different was this season compared to last season? Whereas like last season the team's goal was state championship. I feel like, and now this year it was a national championship.
I would say like personally, like last year, like it being my second state championship, it really felt like my first because the one my freshman year, like I wasn't really like a big role on the team, and like to be like a big role on the team and win a state championship last year, like it just felt like like it was like a lot of crazy emotions coming through. And like last year, our goal was to make Geicos. Like we weren't really like locked in on like trying to win Geicos. We were just like wanting to get there. And like this year we wanted to like win nationals, and like that was just like another step that we had to take by winning the state championship. And we feel like we could really win it this year with nationals.
Definitely. So again, I mean, you would not kind of take care of business. Again, your third state championship. Even though I feel like this year you guys are really going for something more, but still winning three state championships in 4 years wasn't really show about you as a player because regardless of your role on the team, even if like you happen to not play a single minute any of those 3 seasons, like maybe like a good luck charm or something, like you obviously contribute something to teams winning. So what's that kind of like? I mean, winning three state championships in 4 years. What's that about you as a player?
Um, I mean, it just shows that I'm a winner at heart. Like just try my best to win, and we don't win. I don't win every game, but that definitely fight to win them all.
Yeah, for sure. So then I guess now, what's kind of the team's mentality? Heading into the national championship. I mean, what are practices like? Have they gotten more intense? Is it the same? What's the preparation been?
We've been practicing against like older guys, like just to like really like get ready. Because like we're getting like a lot of weeks off until we play our next game, and like we're just playing against older guys, like scrimmaging, running through plays and stuff like that to get ready. And this upcoming next week, we're really gonna start like ramping it up and like watching film and stuff like that, and getting ready for the first national game.
Was there at all any, I guess, bit of celebration though after winning the state championship? Was it literally like we won? What do you do? Let's get back to business.
It was definitely a lot of celebration. Like we were definitely like happy that we won the state championship. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was kind of curious about that. But anyways, I'm sure at least the rankings show for this thing, you guys are the one seed. Obviously, they're the most confident that you guys are going to be able to take care of business. Just how confident are you in this team this year? They're going to be able to win a national championship. And it's, I guess, what is about this team that makes you so confident about that?
Just like how deep we are. Like we got guys on the end of the bench that could play and compete. And you know, I feel like we're a great team. And but like, anything can happen. Those other teams are there in the national championship for a reason. They're not like easy teams. Like they're going to be good teams, and we're prepared to play against great competition and compete.
Definitely. And I guess that's kind of really want to touch about. Actually, no, I kind of came up with a good amount. Yeah, I actually did write something down. This came into my head during the interview. I just thought of this. So being on the team, I don't know how close you are with Vernon Carey and Scotty Barnes and the rest of that, that freshman university school team, but they were obviously a special group. Even the year before, maybe a little bit even more special. But playing on teams with players like Vernon Carey, like Scotty Barnes, did they at all kind of teach you anything and give you any advice and kind of made you the player that you are today, just being around them?
They definitely did kind of mold me in the player I am. Like just watching them play and like competing against them against practice. Like doing that like your freshman year, like that'll like it'll like change you like to the player like you can definitely be because having a guard Scotty who's now in the NBA like it's just crazy. It's like you like kind of like learn how to defend and like just like you get to like emulate like what he does. Him and Vernon.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you at all keep in touch with them at all? I guess like currently, or do you not really talk to them too much?
Not too much. I don't really talk to them too much.
Yeah. Do you think they're proud of you though? If they, well, I don't want to sound like it's kind of mean, but like if they even know you guys won the state championship, you think they're looking wherever they are on their phones, like, yeah, like we made this kid. That's
I mean,
what I'm at, but there's no other way I could have said it.
I mean, yeah, I think that they're proud. Like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then also for you, how cool is it? I mean, for you is really getting so adjusted to Calvary Christian Academy, like university school. I don't know how many years you were there, but like a lot of kids kind of grow up like literally at that school. Like they'll go to middle school there, elementary school there, and they go to high school there. Like a lot of kids are basically like just live at university school. That's like their only school pretty much. So for you to be at a school like that where a lot of kids know each other their whole lives, you were I guess a big part of that school, and to leave, go to Calvary Christian, now almost make a whole other home there. How cool is that the overall like transition for you to win back-to-back state championships with them and just kind of have a new home at Calvary Christian?
It was nice because like I really liked U school, but then like going to Calvary, like I didn't really get to like my first year there, like I didn't really get to like really meet the students and like have like a like build a good relationship with the students outside the basketball team because there was like COVID was going on, so like I wasn't going to school. I was doing online school, so I didn't really get to build a relationship with the students and teachers. But then like this year, like I'm really getting like accustomed to the students and like it does feel like a home now.
Yeah, but would you say Calvary Christian is the best school, basketball school wise, I guess in general, and if so, I think Florida. So why?
You repeat that one more time, please?
Yeah, would you say that Calvary Christian is the best school in Florida? You know, in terms of school, basketball, and if so, why?
Um, I would say. I mean, I don't really know because like I don't know like how other schools are ran, but like we're definitely a great school overall.
Hmm. Yeah, and then we could talk about this a little bit. Again, the main point of the interview is just to keep it more about the state championship. But you're obviously I think the only guy that I'm talking to. Well, I interviewed Brian Davis, and he's going to Nova, which I guess is a big deal. But you're going to UCF. I think next year with you coming, I think they actually might be pretty good. I think this year they were pretty good. Just kind of fell short in a few games. How excited are you to head over there and bring UCF back to where they're competing for a national championship, like when they almost beat Duke?
I'm super excited. Like we have like a lot of this past year we had a lot of young guys and um got guys that are like getting better and like this upcoming year they're going to be older and the team's going to be better and stuff like that. Like you said, we slipped up on a couple games this past year and I feel like we could do like a lot better this upcoming year. So I just can't wait to be like a part of it and make a run at the national championship, the conference championship.
Yeah. Do you think because UCF's not known for like being a basketball, well, not known for, I guess, football powerhouse now, I guess you could say, but, UCF's not known for being some blue blood program for basketball. Like I feel like in general, UCF's now really starting to make a run for being just like a great school overall. I think they're still very kind of in that. So, is your goal, I guess, to really just try to change the culture for UCF basketball, make players from all around the country want to go there and play basketball pretty much?
Yeah, definitely. And like, considering that they're also like moving to the Big Ten in a couple years, like
Yeah,
that's
big
also gonna
12.
like Big 12 in a couple years, like that also like, increases like the image of UCF. But we're still a great school. Like, schools you don't have to be like a blue blood or a top school like that. Like once you get like recruited, like you realize like that stuff is like all on the surface. Like, it's all about like the relationship which you have with the coaches and like, how their play style fits you and how like where you fit on the team. Like those things like they definitely are important as well. It's not just a name.
Yeah, I'm curious. Out of these schools, which one would you want to face the most next year? Would you want to face USF because it's your rival, Memphis if Josh Minot comes back, um, or FSU or UF?
Um just out of those,
Yeah. Just unless there's another one that like you've been thinking of for a long time that you really want to play, but yeah, for me, just out of those four.
out of those four, I would say USF and Memphis because those are like big rivalries. But like outside of that, I would definitely want to play Michigan because
Okay, yeah,
UCF played Michigan earlier in the year,
we
and
did. Yep,
we
I was there. Yeah, you guys, that was a great game.
yeah we ended up beating them, and like I had like a little bit of bragging rights over Greg Glenn, and
Mhm.
hopefully like next year we could play them again, and I could brag a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like for that game again, I'm an outsider perspective. I think if that game, I feel like wherever that game's played, I think if it's going to be played at UCF, I think UCF might win. But I think it's going to be played in Michigan. I think they might be able to win. I think the crowd, I feel like at Michigan, or maybe want that one. They a little more into it since they lost them last year. But I think it's like that kind of game where it's like wherever it's going to be played, that's kind of the team that's going to win.
Yeah, I mean it
Yeah.
was tough for Michigan to beat us at UCF because like our fans are crazy. Like if you go in the UCF gym, like it's not going to be easy to beat us. Like, we didn't win every game at home, but you know, like every game that we played at home
You
was
guys
tough.
definitely won most, though. You guys definitely won most.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm trying to think what you might have only lost like one, like maybe one or two games at home, I think.
yeah, yeah. Just a couple games.
Yeah. It was a little disappointing though. For losing to Memphis, thought it was a team. I mean, you guys beat them before, so he definitely had more of a chance. That kind of sucked, but I guess it is what it is about them. But yeah, I just think the future at UCF is definitely gonna be bright for sure. But I guess now I just got literally two more questions for you in the interview. So one, just want to really try to ask every players, want to end it off on more of a positive note. Just what do you want your legacy to be like once you step away from the game of basketball?
I just want people to like remember me like not as just a basketball player, but like as a good person. Like I feel like I'm a good person. Like I just want to like affect a lot of people's lives. Like.
Yeah. And then now something that I've done now two straight interviews. I'm trying to make this a little, I guess, routine that I have. I just thought almost like a mini segment, pretty much. So with Houston Culpepper, I was like, you know what, the idea has happened because I got it from Duncan Robinson's podcast, where they do like a one-word summary for each interview. So I'm like, you know what, let me try doing this. So I did one with him. I did one for the guy I interviewed yesterday. So now we're gonna do it again. This is the third time me doing this. So I guess I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna say my one word. And then you go next. I'm trying to say different word for every interview. I want to see how many words I know. So for this one, I think this one I'm gonna go national because I mean, we're talking about a lot of national games. This wasn't like, an interview. We're talking about local teams. We're all talking about a lot of national topics. You're traveling all over the place. You're, trying to win a national championship. So I mean, you're going to UCF, talking about, teams like Memphis, whatever. So I think I'm gonna go with national as my word.
My word, I'm gonna go with blessing because like this whole season has been a blessing. Like playing these top teams, beating top teams, doing a lot better than we did last year, and being able to be invited to this national championship is just all a blessing.
Yeah, that was definitely a cute response. But anyways, I'm just gonna plug your Instagram. I'm gonna plug my Instagram. So make sure you guys give us both a follow on Instagram. His is at Taylor X Hendricks. Mine's at iHoopsFL. And anyways, for 2022 UCF commit and now back to back or an even three-time state champion Taylor Hendricks. I'm Isaac Fleischer, and this has been another iHoopsFL interview. Peace out, guys.